has to be Cristiano Ronaldo.
Sixers, if they play Boston first round, Celtics are a first round exit.
Oh
They're
my
going
gosh, you are
bye.
insane.
And all 4 games that they lost in the ALCS were in Houston, the only place that they were cheating. Now,
The same way he's been playing, it doesn't matter. If Sam Darnold has that coaching staff and that playbook, he's a better player. We saw it in the last 5 weeks of the NFL regular season last year, and we're going to see it this entire season.
Hang on.
Wait,
hang on.
Kawhi Leonard is just a tad better than LeBron James. After he
welcome
won the
back to
championship.
Go Chat. Welcome back to another episode. We are on episode number 7. Welcome back to Go Chat. We are here again. It's another beautiful Monday, guys. How are you doing?
doing great.
Great to
Baseball's
have
back.
baseball on my TV this weekend.
That's right. Good series win for the Yankees against the Nats.
All right, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But of course, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 20. We had the draft. Very fun draft. We're really loving the fantasy baseball. I'm kicking booty. I don't know about you guys, but
I'm up by 30 right now on Tommy. So
Yeah, it's a little rough right now, but we'll be okay.
all
My team
right.
had a good first 2 days, and they had like 50 points over the last 2 days, but
Yeah.
whatever. You know,
Tough stretch. All
Yeah.
right. Of course, you guys know our Go to the Number One episode 21, sponsored by 1306 Sports. I can't say enough good things about 1306 Sports. Tommy writes beautiful articles. Connor has wrote in some very fantastic articles on there. You guys should go check that out. There's also a really good podcast on there. Dribbling Around is one of the really great podcasts with Dane Richardson, who we had him on last week on the phone for the draft. But let's get into that. 21. Tommy, who is your go to the number 21?
Well, this was a pretty easy one for me. I'm going to go with Roberto Clemente, one of the best players of all time, great Pittsburgh Pirate, exactly 3,000 hits. He's a .317 lifetime hitter, and he was an incredible defender. I mean, his arm, he had a cannon for an arm out there in right field. He was unbelievable. 12-time Gold Glove winner. He won 2 World Series with the Pirates, 15-time All-Star, just an amazing person, an amazing player. So, yeah, this was an easy one for me. Roberto Clemente for the go, the number 21.
Mike, who do you think is going number 21?
I don't know how Tommy sees this number 21 as something that's easy, because there are a couple really, really great athletes that are in competition for the best 21. But for the golden number 21, I'm going to have to go with one of the most dominant football players of all time, Deion Sanders. And the reason I'm picking him over the likes of Roberto Clemente and Tim Duncan is just because of how dominant he was. He's the best defensive back we've ever seen play in the NFL. He picked the ball off like it was nothing. He returned kicks like it was nothing. But not only did he play football, he also played baseball. He even went as far as to hit 300 in one season in 1992 with the Atlanta Braves. I mean, he was still a good baseball player. He could steal bases in his sleep. I mean, Deion Sanders is everything you could ask for in a football player. Plus, he also played baseball. And to my knowledge, he's one of the only defensive backs to win Defensive Player of the Year. It's usually like a defensive lineman or maybe a linebacker, but he did win the award in 1994. And he's a 2-time Super Bowl champ, so one of the best football players ever.
Connor, what do you think?
yeah, I mean, before I actually give my go to the week, or go to the number rather, I will definitely agree with Mike there that Deion Sanders is one of the best, and he was very close to being my go to the number 21 here because of his football skills and the baseball skills and everything around that. But I'm going to have to agree with Tommy here with Roberto Clemente. As I've said before about the reason why I choose my go to the numbers a lot of times is the work that they do off the fields, off the courts or whatever. I mean, now the MLB now has a Roberto Clemente Award every year, which is given to a player who shows great sportsmanship and community involvement throughout like their team and their homeland. Obviously, anyone who knows the Roberto Clemente story knows that there was a hurricane in Puerto Rico that he was going to assist with, and that is when he died. He was in a helicopter crash. Is assumed. They never found his body or anything. So I mean, he gave his life to go and try to help some of his home people. So that in itself is why he is deserving of my go to the number 21. But I mean, I'm just going to read off some numbers here just to include to that. I mean, Tommy didn't give off a lot of numbers. 15-time All-Star, 12-time Gold Glove, 4 batting titles. He won 2 World Series. He was a World Series MVP. He was a league MVP. I mean, these are just incredible numbers from an incredible person. So it's going to be Roberto Clemente here for 21.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to agree with you. After that, what you said, Connor, I have to agree with you. Times are changing. I'm liking baseball, so I'm gonna have to agree with you. The go to number 21 is Roberto Clemente. You really got me sold on that charity work and stuff. And I really, like I've said before, with a lot of the go of the week or go to the number. Why do I always say go of the week? That really
I did it
pains
too.
me.
I did it too.
The go of the number rather. I always pride myself in picking someone that is great off the field or court or rink, whatever perspective sport they have. And I agree with you. Roberto did a lot of great stuff, and obviously it was a tragedy of how he died. I just learned it actually searching it. Also, I've been to a statue. It's pretty cool too in Pittsburgh. So I'm gonna go with Roberto Clemente, but also like to shout out Tim Duncan. He was a great player. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Roberto.
I mean, also when you think about Roberto Clemente, he was one of the first black players in the MLB as well. I mean, he played in the 60s and the 70s, and Jackie Robinson made his appearance in the 40s. So I mean, that's not a big differentiation there, and that's still right smack dab in the middle of that whole civil rights movement. So him stepping in to a league that still wasn't quite accepting of people with his color and people of his stature and stuff like that, and playing as successfully as he did, and growing through the league the way he did, and still having that support and that sportsmanship and that community effort through all of that stuff while he was still breaking that color barrier in the sport was in itself great.
Connor Wood is spitting facts today. I like this Connor Wood today, this episode. He's really got it down.
I mean, Roberto Clemente is obviously, a great pick, but I just think that we've never seen anything like Deion in the NFL, and we will never come close to seeing anything like Deion, the way that he took over games. I mean, he would just attack the ball one after another, and we didn't really get to talk about Tim Duncan right here. I mean, 15-time All-Star, 15-time All-NBA player, 15-time All-Defensive player, 3 times Final MVP, 5-time Finals champ. I mean, I feel like he's kind of underrated when we're talking about some of the best basketball players ever. His resume is undoubtedly one of the best. It's second to none. So it's kind of surprising how we don't talk about him. I mean, he's kind of like a boring player, the 15-foot bank shot from the elbow or whatever. But Tim Duncan, you got to throw him in that conversation too.
His records in itself are great. His recent hair choice, I'm going to have to disagree with that.
For sure. He was a great player, and definitely very underrated. Any last final
Mike,
thought?
I definitely do agree with the Deion Sanders pick there. And what I watched not too long ago, if anyone is interested in like sports documentaries or anything like that, there's a 30 for 30 about Deion Sanders going from a football game to a baseball game in the same day. And it goes through all like those disputes that he had with the 2 different teams, and it's specifically the Atlanta Braves. And if you're interested in sports documentaries and anything like that, that's definitely a must watch. It's great.
Awesome. Now, any last final thoughts? No? All right. We'll head into our next segment here on Go Chat.
Welcome back to Go Chat. We are here after the go to the number 21. Obviously, we all had some great goats here. Roberto Clemente, Tim Duncan, Deion Sanders, all great names. We're now going to go into big NFL news. It kills me to say this. Jamal Adams was recently traded to the Seattle Seahawks from the New York Jets. I'm not even going to talk first. I'll let you guys get all your thoughts out, and then I'll process because I'm still processing. Matt, I'm going to go with you first.
So this is like, I don't know. I don't like the Seattle Seahawks at all, but I got to tell you, it pains Connor Wood, and it probably, I don't know if it pains Mike. We haven't heard from Mike, but obviously Cowboys were a top spot for Jamal Adams, and they would be in the rumors. So, if it pains both of you guys, I'm happy. I'm kidding. That's awful. But no, I think it was a really good trade for the Jets. Obviously, getting those first round picks is going to be amazing for their future. And obviously they had got rid of Jamal Adams, who wanted to leave anyway. I mean, even after he said about Adam Gase being an awful leader and stuff, we knew he was going to be gone. So I think what the Jets got out of it was great. So I think that's a positive for the Jets. Also, what the Seahawks got out of it. I mean, yes, Jamal Adams' contract is going to be done next year, the year after, but they got a big piece in their defense that could propel them to the Super Bowl. Do I think it's going to propel them to the Super Bowl? Not really. But I think that's a key piece moving forward to next year, obviously with a great quarterback already who I predicted as my MVP in Russell Wilson.
Just to give the details to anyone who didn't see the trade, the Jets sent over to the Seattle Seahawks Jamal Adams and a 2022 fourth-round pick in exchange for another safety in Bradley McDougald, who I'll get into, and then a 2021 first-round pick, a 2021 third-round pick, and a 2022 first-round pick. That's the trade there. Now we'll get Mike's thoughts.
I mean, first off, I'm shocked that a trade actually happened. I honestly, it was going to be really tough to go into the season with Jamal being on the Jets. I think the final string is when he spoke out against Adam Gase and said that he doesn't necessarily have a relationship with everyone in the building, which makes him not a good coach. So I was like, wow, the Jets really got to get this trade moving. And they pulled off probably one of the best trades possible with no leverage. I'm shocked that the Jets do this. I'm praising the Jets. I can't believe they got 2 first-rounders and a third-rounder, plus someone to replace Jamal. Bradley McDougald, whatever his last name is, he's a pretty good player. He's an above-average player. So I think the Jets got a really nice haul for him. A fourth-round pick is like nothing. I'd rather have what the Jets got than what the Seahawks got. So I'll give the Jets an A for the trade. And from a Seahawks perspective, I'm just wondering what Pete Carroll's going to do with Jamal Adams. He's kind of like a DB guru. He helped construct the Legion of Boom. He brought in Bradley McDougald, made him a really good player. So we'll see what he does with Jamal Adams. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that was a lot to give up. You don't even have him under contract. You guys couldn't even sign Clowney because you didn't have any cap space. What are you going to do with Jamal? So, we'll see what happens. Now they're definitely a Super Bowl contending team. But, I'd give the Jets an A. Seahawks probably like C+.
Tommy, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with Matt and Mike on this one. I think the Jets, it was a great trade for them. They got all those good picks for the future, which, that's the important thing right there, setting themselves up, to keep building the team in the future, a couple first-round picks. So I think that's great. And like you said, I mean, it's good for the Seahawks as well, but, you'll have to see how Jamal Adams fits onto the team there. But, yeah, for the Jets, I think it's great. They're going to keep, this trade will pay off in the future, and I think it's good for their organization.
Okay. Jamal's goodbye message to New York that he posted on Instagram and to Twitter was absolute bullshit. I'm sorry for swearing, Matt. You can edit that. It was absolute crap. The fact that he's going to go out there and post this nice, sincere goodbye message to New York. And then when Le'Veon Bell has something to say about it, because Jamal Adams was the reason why Le'Veon Bell came to the Jets. He swayed him. He's there for 1 year and then he leaves. So Le'Veon Bell goes to Twitter and says something.
See you week 15.
And then Jamal says, noted, see you week 15. And then he goes onto an Instagram live where he seems to have been under the influence, smoking a cigar, dancing around, celebrating, and talking trash. He is showing exactly the maturity of why the Jets didn't want his contract anymore. He was showing the maturity of why the Jets didn't want to give him the money. He was showing immaturity rather. Seattle's getting a great safety. He's getting a very good safety, but honestly, I don't think he's going to fit in with Seattle that great. I think he was an overexplosive player with the Jets because he was the only decent player on that defense. He's going to go to a Seattle defense that already has big names around him and Bobby Wagner, and they have a good line, and he's going to be a good safety in the league. He's not. I don't think he's going to be what he was in New York. Now, speaking about the actual trade itself, the Jets won the trade 100%. I saw the trade on my phone on Saturday, and my stomach was a little uneasy there for a second. I was out on the golf course when I saw the trade, and my game went all downhill. So, I mean, no.
It was already bad to begin with, so I wonder how bad it could have gone after.
Yeah, hey. You know what? It actually started on the 9th hole when my buddy told me that Regis Philbin died. But
Oh man, that was awful. But go on.
I was really sad. No, but the Jets are really building here. I think the addition of Bradley McDougald to Greg Williams' defense is going to be great. And then also, let's not forget about the safety that they drafted in the 3rd round in Ashton Davis out of West Virginia. He's a great playmaker. You use that 2-safety combination there at strong safety or with a nickel there, and then you have Marcus May as your free safety. That's a good combination. Bradley McDougald over his career has more interceptions than Jamal would average in his career. Bradley McDougald already has 10 interceptions and 451 tackles in 6 seasons, I think it is. He's a good safety, and he's going to fit in with Greg Williams. That's Greg Williams' specialty, is taking these average players like he does. We saw it in Cleveland. He takes these average players and turns them into good players. That's what he's going to do. I forgot about one more thing about Jamal Adams' immaturity that I was just reading down. After this whole little Twitter conversation that he had with Le'Veon Bell, he posted a GIF on Twitter saying, "You mad," with 4 A's. What kind of maturity is that? What kind of do you want that player in your locker room?
I guess Pete does.
He's just showing such immaturity. Like fine. The Jets didn't give you the money you wanted. Fine, go about it, get a trade, but don't be immature about it. It's still a business. It's a business. At the end of the day, you have to know that you're working for a business. I mean, that's my complete take on this. You guys.
If anyone could take care of him, or if anyone could look after him, it's Pete Carroll. I mean, he had to look after Crybaby Sherman for a little while. So,
well, I mean, it's not like they even turned out well. They had to blow it up anyways because they couldn't take care of the secondary. They were butting heads with Russell Wilson. That's why they had to blow it up. And, Cam was getting injured, so obviously they had to blow it up. But one thing, Connor, listen. The reason why you're so upset about this trade is because Jamal Adams is the best safety in the league. You can't go out saying that he's only going to be a good player on the Seattle Seahawks team because there's other pieces around him. If anything, he's going to be better because he won't have so many things to do. On the Jets, he had to do everything. With the Seahawks, he's going to be able to roam around, do his own thing, blow running backs out of the backfield, and he'll get to play the ball a little more because he's going to have less responsibility because he has Bobby Wagner at linebacker. The line's good. They have Griffin on the outside. And, I mean, he's still going to be one of the best safeties in the league. So
I'm not discrediting that at all, but my point is saying that.
I mean, when you're kind of comparing McDougald to Adams,
yeah,
you were a little discrediting him there. I mean, I get that McDougald. I mean, he's not
like, roll the tape and you'll see Connor saying he's only going to be a good player with all the other great players in Seattle.
What I'm trying to say is him in New York was the only real piece on that defense, so he had to do more, and he was successful at it. Now that I think that he's going to be stepping more into that straight, strong safety role, he hasn't been a very good ball hawk. He wasn't in college either. So when he's stepping straight into that strong safety role rather than coming up and playing close to the ball and playing that hybrid linebacker that he was in the Jets system, he's not going to get the sacks like he did last year. He's not going to have as many tackles for losses. He's not going to have all of that. So what I'm saying is he's still the best safety in the league. I'm not saying that is invalid at all. He's still going to be a Pro Bowl safety, and I can see him at the end of his career, barring any injuries, in the Hall of Fame. All I'm saying is that his stats are not going to look as good as they were in his first 3 seasons in New York.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think you're going to see him chasing the ball a little bit more. I think that's what throughout his first couple of seasons, that hasn't necessarily been his forte. But I think, he's just such a good player that, he'll get the opportunity to do it more. And I'm sure you're going to see Pete Carroll using him on like weak side blitzes and stuff like that. So I think the sacks and maybe the tackles for loss are going to be there. It might not be as prominent as it once was with the Jets because he was kind of their only weapon. But I get what you're saying, but I just don't. It's going to like exponentially improve Seattle's defense, the addition of Jamal.
I agree. It definitely proposed them to a Super Bowl favorite. I'm just being a Jets fan that I am and being so loyal to the team. And the Jets are a loyal fan base. I mean, you look at some of these teams that have gone out on the field there and they still have fans going to the stadium every week. They're a loyal fan base. And when it has to come to the point where your star player is so disgruntled that he's disrespecting fans on social medias, it's disappointing. That the fact that these players who a lot of younger kids, younger than us, and even some adults look up to, has to go out and be disrespectful. It really, that relationship is never going to be the same again. And I can guarantee you, when they play Week 14, I think they're in Seattle. But when he comes back to New York, there's not going to be cheering involved.
Rain of boos.
I mean, who even knows if there's going to be fans in general? So let's be honest. What it's looking like.
Yeah, he's just saying like in the future, whenever the Seahawks, if he stays with the Seahawks, we don't even know if he's going to re-sign there. He might throw a hissy fit there too.
Yeah, because if you
put in like the booing crowd noise.
because if you think about it, next time Jets will play the Seahawks is 4 more years. So who knows if he's going to be there at the time.
I'm seeing early signs right now of another Antonio Brown.
Who knows? I mean,
Honestly, that's not too far off because Antonio Brown did kind of start like this. But I don't know. I don't think it's I don't know if it's necessarily the same. We'll see.
Look, being a Jets fan, this is the last thing I'm going to say, is being a Jets fan, I loved the guy. I loved seeing him out there on the field. He brought an explosive nature to the field every time he was out there. And I truly do wish him the best. I just wish it could have been a little bit more cordial.
Can't disagree with you there. I'm not even a Jets fan. Anyway.
Yeah. Any last thoughts?
No.
All right, let's move into our next segment. Talking about baseball. Get hyped, Tommy.
I'm hyped. I'm ready.
Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Go Chat. We just had a great discussion about Jamal Adams. And baseball is finally back. We had opening day on Thursday and Friday. Some great games. And we're going to dive right into it. So, Thursday night, they had a marquee matchup that opened the Major League Baseball season. Yankees-Nationals, the defending world champions, against, I think, the best team in baseball. That's, we can debate that. But so the Yankees took opening night 4-1, and then the nightcap was the Dodgers and the Giants. The Dodgers took that one. And then Friday, there were a lot of great games as well. Kyle Hendricks had a 9-inning performance for the Dodgers. He was amazing. That was a great game. And Yoenis Cespedes coming back from injury. I know Mike, I've seen him hit that solo home run. And Jacob deGrom was amazing. I mean, a 1-0 win on opening day. You can't ask for any more than that from the Mets. deGrom was amazing. Cespedes was great as well. Guys, what do you think? There were so many great moments this weekend.
Let's not forget. Sure, the Mets can have a 1-0 win, and then they'll blow a save the next day.
Don't listen. We'll get into that, okay? Just give me a little bit, and I'll speak my mind on Mr. Edwin Diaz.
No, it was a great weekend of baseball. I mean, we saw a lot of great pitching. There was a lot of very good pitchers taking the mound. I mean, Trevor Bauer had a great day on Sunday. Patrick Corbin had a great day on Sunday, and right after that Gleyber Torres home run, he was taken out. I mean, there was a lot of great pitching shown. Obviously, we had a couple pitchers scratched from their opening day starts in Clayton Kershaw and Steven Strasburg, but they'll be back out on the field in no time. And then there was just news that Justin Verlander may be out for the foreseeable future with a what a lot of people are saying is a season-ending injury. He himself is saying that it's just a forearm strain. So we'll see what will actually come by.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with Verlander. I think he may be, thinking a little optimistically, which is good. I mean, obviously he doesn't want to see his season end on opening weekend, but a lot of people feel it's season ending, like you said, Connor. And obviously we don't have much time. It's going to be August here in a couple days, and we'll see if he can come back. But Houston is a very strong team. Obviously, he's the ace on that pitching staff at the moment. So that would be a big blow if they lost him. But, I think Houston's still good without him. They have a good lineup. It's the same one. It's not the same as when they were cheating, but it's still very good. And, but yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that. And Kershaw, have you heard anything about him? I think he'll be back at some point this year, right, Connor?
Yeah, he was just an opening day scratch to get some back tightness.
Oh, okay.
But no, can we just talk about the no fans being in the stadium is one thing, but when there's a home run hit, the crack of the bat that you can hear echo is
Oh my God.
unreal.
The best.
That is satisfying. That is like, I'm not gonna lie, that is one of the best parts of watching the game.
Listen, don't get too excited, Matt.
No, that is like one of the oddly satisfying. I was actually talking about that with my friends. It's very oddly satisfying, even if it's Giancarlo Stanton hitting a home run.
Hitting a home run 483 feet.
Yeah.
Dude,
Can we talk about Giancarlo for a second?
No, we don't have to talk about him. I
No. I want to get into this because Giancarlo Stanton is one of the only players from like rival teams that I actually like. I don't know. There's just something about him ever since he had that monster 60 home run season on the Marlins. I've just really liked him. And I'm just so glad that he's back and back and better than ever. Hopefully he could stay healthy. But, oh, man, he's been hitting some bombs. He's one of the only hitters who are actually getting to the groove early.
Absolutely. I mean, his opening weekend was great. Obviously, Sunday he didn't have a good day. He was 0 for 4. But Thursday night he comes out, hits a home run the first inning. That set the tone. That was incredible. 2-0 Yankees early on. And then later in the game, in the fifth inning, I believe, he had an RBI single to right field, which is great. And then Saturday night, 483 feet. That's the one you were talking about, Connor. He's just outstanding. He's locked in right now. I mean, Sunday was a bad day, but, I expect him to go right back to it on Monday night.
Tommy, I want you to do us a favor right now and go chat and show us your reaction for the first home run of the year by Giancarlo Stanton right now.
Oh, I don't know if I can recreate it, but I jumped up. I was so excited because, I mean, I'm not surprised, though. See, I've always been a Giancarlo supporter. A lot of people say, he's injured all the time. People forget that he played, I think it was 158 games his first season with the Yankees. So he hardly missed any time. He hit 38 home runs, 100 RBIs. Obviously, former MVP. He's one of the best players in the league. I don't expect anything less than seeing him go out there this weekend and, put up some big numbers on opening weekend. But I thought it was great. And, I'm looking forward to seeing him healthy for hopefully 60 games. But that was the best. I mean, to set the tone like that for the rest of the year, I think was big.
Now, Mike mentioned batters who got off to a quick start. What about the former Yankee Didi Gregorius?
He was great. 2 home runs in his first 2 games. I mean,
it was sour to see because I mean I would love to see him hitting those home runs for the Yankees. I mean you're playing him against me in fantasy baseball, so
that's right.
I mean,
Yeah, you're welcome, by the way, Tommy. I'm just going to point that out there.
That's
we
right.
talked about 2 guys that I traded you. I mean, you're welcome.
That is true. Stanton and Didi I got from Matt Cain, so I'm very thankful for that. But that helped you out as well. I gave you Zach Wheeler in that one, and he did well for you on Saturday. So
And Bryce hit a homer today.
that is true.
The Phillies still lost twice to the Marlins. They lost a series. How embarrassing is that? I couldn't believe it. Are the Marlins a team on the rise? Playoff team? Question mark. Miami Marlins.
But I mean, you mentioned teams who you thought were on the rise in the Cincinnati Reds, and they lost 2 out of 3 to the Tigers.
I know. Not a good start for my fantasy team. Let me tell you that. Suarez and Castellanos they're just strikeout machines for me. They're just bringing my team down and down. But going back to Stan, I've thought this in the past. I haven't said it on the show, obviously, because Stan's been hurt. But before like all the Stan injuries, I thought that he was 100% better than Aaron Judge. Without the injuries, obviously the injuries happen. Things have changed. But if Stan can get back to that level, that's gonna be huge for the Yankees. I think he's still more talented than Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is a great player. I just think Stan is just a whole nother level.
I would disagree with you on that for the simple fact of Aaron Judge's defense.
I was going to say the same thing, Connor. I agree with you 100%.
That's fair. Aaron Judge does have much better defense than Stan. He has an absolute rocket for an arm.
I honestly think Aaron Judge is a little overrated.
Tommy, he's just trying to push.
Oh well, I'm not kidding. Like seriously, I think he's a great player, but I feel like he's way too hyped just because he's on the Yankees. He's probably the best player in the Yankees. That's like. Also,
did he hit 50 home runs his rookie season? Who hit him more? Pete Alonso, baby.
What was Pete Alonso's start to the 2020 season? Yeah, your smile just went away.
Okay, what has Judge done?
He had a big opening night. He singled.
Sure did have a big opening night.
And he came home to score, and then he drove in around the third inning. And he didn't do well Saturday or Sunday, but see, the thing about Aaron Judge is that if he doesn't hit well, he makes an impact on the game in some way. And, Saturday night, I mean, I'll admit, the Yankees got annihilated. It was 9-2. It was pretty bad. I know, Matt Cain loved that one. But, he still made an impact, though. I think it was the first or second inning. There's a fly ball. He caught it, and he held the runner. Now, it was a fairly deep fly ball. I feel – which one I'm talking about, right, Connor?
I do.
I feel like most runners would definitely try to score there, but he held him. He kept him there at third, which, it's the little things that he does. He makes an impact in every game. And,
wait, are you talking about the one he missed?
well,
he didn't catch?
he did, but that's a difficult fly ball. You're going back. He doesn't want to slam against.
No, like were you actually talking about that one? Because I don't think they even moved.
No, I wasn't talking. No, it was a fly ball.
It was one that he caught that a runner could have tagged from third to home.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just smart because the guy's got a cannon.
I know, but like if it was any other right fielder out there, they probably would have gone home.
Yeah, but the guy's got a cannon.
I know, but that's why I'm proving his value to the team back, Kate. He's incredible.
You know what, Tommy? You mentioned players who bring something to the team every time they step out, whether it's a win or a loss. And we mentioned Aaron Judge, and specifically the New York Yankees, and that makes me think Derek Jeter, captain of the Yankees, Aaron Judge, possible future captain of the Yankees.
I think he wins a title. He'll be named the captain. That's
They're
my.
not gonna win a title. Like I'm taking that back now. I don't even think they're gonna win this year. After
Why?
that
I mean,
performance this
the
weekend.
Yankees do have a phenomenal second
Yeah, they have a
starter.
great roster.
I mean, he just had a beauty against the Nationals on Saturday. I mean, that 2-inning performance, just work of art.
It was so good, Mike. I was crying. It was so good, man. I mean, tears down my eyes. I would like to say that I have probably become a baseball fan now. I mean, I'd like to thank the fantasy baseball. I'd like to thank that. Obviously, Thursday I watched opening day until hello? Yeah, Mother Nature. Can you pull in the rain? I think we're gonna choke.
What?
Obviously, that happened. Yankees are cheated again. And then Saturday, I watched the Brewers-Cubs game. It was great.
Timeout.
It was great. And then, obviously, 2 nights ago, I watched the Nationals-Yankees annihilation. Even though the Nats had 5 errors, I mean, it was a very sloppy game by both teams.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, the game yesterday was stupid play by the Nats in the 9th, But, I mean, I honestly think the Nats would have tied it if whatever his name is, it's
Bonifacio.
Bonifacio. What a name. If he didn't outrun that third, if he didn't outslide that third base.
But you
Yeah,
know what?
Give
That-
credit to
that's
Gino on
baseball.
that.
That's baseball, and that happens. And the Yankees came away with the W, and they're 2-1 on the season, and they're playing
Congrats.
tonight.
I can't wait till Soto comes back. I mean, just to see what the Nats can be with Soto, and if Strasburg played.
I agree, but how deep in a hole can they get before Soto gets back?
I don't know. It depends about the tests. I heard Chapman
Chapman did have a negative test, so he has to have one more, and then he can be activated.
I mean, maybe the Yankees will get back to what they can do, obviously, without the Mother Nature cheating scandal.
We never cheated. We're incredible. All right.
Matt, you're really dragging it here. I do have to admit. Yeah, I do have to admit you're really dragging it. But I think we should talk about baseball more as a whole right now. I mentioned this earlier. I think you were really starting, through the first couple of games, how rusty some of the players are. The Nationals made 5 errors. A lot of these star players are not playing up to par. It's only like, 2-3 games of the season, but they just have not been playing well. Acuna has 1 hit through 2 games, and it was a broken bat single up the middle. So what do you guys think? Were players not training hard enough, or was it just all the time off? What do you guys think?
I think it's the fact of they only had like a week and a half to 2 weeks of their summer camp, quote unquote, and normally they have 6 weeks of spring training. So they still have to get into that groove there, which is why I also think we're seeing the slight injuries in Kershaw and in Strasburg, and they're having to sit those starts, is because of those, just the wear and the tear on the bodies from going from, okay, we're gonna play baseball for 2 weeks. Okay, now we're gonna stop for 4 months. Now we're gonna play for a week and a half, and then the games are gonna matter. That's a lot of changing your functions of way. So I mean, I don't think it's any reason to worry about any of these star players right now. If we get 15 to 20 games into the season now, and Acuna's batting under 200 or numbers like that, then I would say that it's time for Braves fans or MLB fans in general to worry. But right now, I would say let's slow the brakes on that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Connor. And the thing about it is that, analysts have been talking about, I think we talked about on the show here as well a week or two ago. The pitchers are way ahead of the hitters. And obviously now the hitters are catching up and a lot of people are doing well. But, it does take time to get that swing back. And you made a good point, Connor. I mean, normally they have 6 weeks to get ready. And, you can kind of relax. You don't really have to worry about being ready right away. But they get to summer camp and they really got to ramp it up and get ready to go pretty quickly. And, that's a little more difficult for some people. And, we all know baseball is a sport of ups and downs. Ronald Acuna, I'm not worried about him at all. I mean, as we're recording this, the Mets are playing the Braves right now. He could still have a good game and get going there. So, and, Gleyber Torres, he didn't have a hit until Sunday. He comes out, has a big game, wins the game for the Yankees, hits a home run, and an RBI, another RBI single there. So, things like that, they happen. Mark Teixeira, he always used to get off to a slow start. And, that was just in general. So guys like that, I think will be fine. I know the Red Sox, they had Andrew Benintendi and Rafael Devers combined for 0 for 18 in their first 2 games, which, normally I'd be thrilled about, but they're both on my fantasy team right now. So that hurt me in a big way this weekend. But, I think those guys will be ready to go. I think the pitchers look good, which is very encouraging. But the hitters, I think, will catch up pretty soon.
Matt, what do you think? Do you have to agree with all of us?
Yeah, I think that these big players like Acuna, I think he'll be back on track. I just think what Connor said, that they had like 2 weeks, with all this stuff that's been going on. They had 2 weeks to play in summer camp or whatever they called it, summer ball. I don't know. And then obviously it's totally different when there's a new season going on in spring training. So I wouldn't be worried about these guys and how they're performing right now. Just let them get used to it for a week, see how they're performing maybe next Sunday or next Monday for our next episode.
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. Like to add on to Connor's point about, only having 2 weeks of summer training, having 6 weeks of spring training, the pitchers, they're able to, pitch whenever they want. They just need someone to catch the ball from. Even not, they could just have like a tarp that they could throw at, with like a painted out strike zone. For all these hitters, it's kind of hard to get these like live at bats that you couldn't get without the spring training. So it's kind of tough for them. But, I also think that they'll be fine moving forward.
Mike, I was just going to say that we've all kind of touched on our favorite teams. Why don't you give us a little rundown of the Mets, and then we can wrap this segment up.
Well, listen, Jacob deGrom, I cannot believe how good he is at baseball. I mean, just 93 miles an hour on a changeup. Are you joking me? That's like half the league's fastball. I mean, he's the best pitcher in the league. I really like Garrett Cole, but that outing on Friday just kind of solidified that for me. And then, Yoenis Cespedes comes through big time in the eighth inning, I think it was. And listen, he has the best walk-up song in the league. It just puts chills through your bones when you hear the Lion King. Just, Tevenya. Just, oh, man, don't even get me started on that. I could go for hours about just his walk-up song. And then the bomb! Boom! Out of here! What a crank that was. Okay, but anyways, let me not get too excited. Diaz, he had a great outing Friday. Pitched the ball, last strike to Zuna, was out of the zone. I don't know how all these balls just go. They're just like out of the park. They're like if it touches the batter's bat, like they're just like automatically out of the park.
Just when it Edwin Diaz's hand.
I don't know, man. But like last year, I just saw the stat the other day. He allowed the most home runs in the 9th inning ever in MLB history for a season. That's absolutely ridiculous. So hopefully that trend doesn't continue. I don't know if we could trust him in the closer role. His stuff is still filthy. It's absolutely disgusting. But batters just hit home runs so easily off him. It kind of worries me. And today the Mets are down 2-0 right now. Rick Porcello is making his debut. We'll see if they can come back, but I don't think so. I think the Braves have this one locked up. I just don't have any faith in them right now.
Do we have any last comments on the baseball's opening weekend?
It's just good to see baseball back. Looking forward to another big week. A lot of good games this week. The Phillies play the Yankees, so the Yankees will get to see Didi again, Joe Girardi, Andrew McCutchen, a lot of their former players. And then next weekend we have Yankees Red Sox. So looking forward to that as well.
Nats actually play first game in Buffalo against Toronto. So,
how exciting will that be?
I know. I'm excited to see what it looks like, to be honest.
That'll be interesting. All right. Well, I guess we will all be right back with our Goat of the Week segment.
Welcome back to Goat Chat. We just had a great conversation about baseball. It's finally back. I mean, we couldn't be happier. I'm sure we're going to hear some baseball names coming out here today, obviously with the Goat of the Week. Guys, we checked the leaderboard out. Tommy is winning.
There we go.
Who'd you have last week? Was it
You know what? I was trying to think about this today. Oh no, it was Clint Frazier.
Yeah, it was. So
Yeah.
Clint Frazier won you that. Obviously, I don't think these people are even watching this segment, because if you heard our explanations for the others, I'm sure maybe we would have persuaded some minds. But
I don't know.
we have a lot of Yankees fans.
I mean, 1 week I chose a player who got someone out of jail, and I didn't win. So it's honestly all luck, but it's okay.
It's all political.
Now,
like
now, Mike,
knowing the person.
Mike, I will agree with you that was a very good pick and you should have won. But don't be complaining. You were in the lead for how many weeks?
A couple of weeks. I mean,
Yeah, you were in the lead that whole time. You were talking about how you were like the king or whatever you said.
So the leaderboard right now, let me know if this is wrong. I'm pretty sure everyone has 3 and I have 2.
yeah.
What it is.
Which is the usual. I mean, I had 1 while everyone had 2, and I had 0 while everyone had 1. I mean, I'm just the last guy to get 2 or 3, and I'm probably not going to get 3 this week, to be honest. But, Tommy, who was your Goat of the Week?
Well, you say that you think people are voting for me because of the Yankee players. Well, I think I have a win again because I'm going with Giancarlo Stanton. We talked about him a little bit before in the last segment. He was outstanding on opening weekend. He homered on opening night, the second time in his Yankee career that he's hit a home run on opening day. They both came in the first inning as well. Actually, the first time he homered on opening day as a Yankee, he hit 2 in the game. But so opening night, he was outstanding. He had 3 RBIs, and then he hit another home run, 483 feet on Saturday. So his stats for the weekend, he's entering the second week of play with a 444 batting average, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. He was great. Helped the Yankees win 2 out of 3 against the defending world champions. So Giancarlo Stanton is my Goat of the Week.
You don't have to keep saying that. We all know what happened.
It's incredible though. I'm so happy to have baseball back, and then my team wins 2 out of 3 against one of the better teams. It's great.
Oh my God. Every time I hear that 2 out of 3 or, I don't think I'm ever going to hear that from Tommy. I don't think I'm ever going to stop hearing that. But Mike, you want to get back on top? Who is your go of the week?
Listen, please, if anyone, I'm gonna do what Matt Cain did. This is how he won.
Go ahead. Hang on, before he says his
No,
name.
get out of here, Connor. Get out. Stop.
He went from king of goat chat
Stop.
to pleading. That's what he's at right now. He went from king of goat chat to pleading.
Obviously, the viewers are not listening to my explanation, so I just have to beg like what Matt Cain did. Listen, it's a copycat league around these parts, okay? Anyways, please vote for me this week. Yoenis Cespedes is my goal of the week. It has to be Yoenis Cespedes. He hasn't played a game in 2 years. 2 years, comes back, hits a dinger in his first game. It's the game-winning run for the Mets on Friday. I mean, what more can you ask for the guy? He's
He get
back.
another hit the whole weekend.
Doesn't matter. He had the most important hit. Okay? Without Yoenis Cespedes, the Mets would be 0-2 right now. They're probably going to – without Yoenis Cespedes, they're probably going to be 0-3 today again. Anyways, it has to be Yoenis Cespedes. Comes back from 2 years. I mean, it's been a long journey. If you're a Mets fan, you understand the struggles that Yoenis Cespedes has had. I mean, the guy's just so unlucky. He breaks his ankle stepping into a ditch at his ranch. I mean, what other player in the MLB is that going to happen to except Yoenis Cespedes? Anyways, he comes back in his first game, hits a dinger. What more can you ask for the guy? First game in 2 years has to be my go of the week.
I don't think he's going to win.
I don't think he'll
Like,
win either. It's okay.
I'm just
It's
kidding.
gonna be all the Yankees fans, all the toxic Yankees fans. Stanton.
All right, Connor, who do you got?
Well, I'm going to go with another baseball player as well. It's someone that we didn't talk about during our baseball segment, and it is a 40-year-old Nelson Cruz. This guy, best pick in the fantasy baseball draft thus far. Put up 30 points on Sunday. Through his first three games, 3 home runs, 7 runs scored, and 10 RBIs. He's 40. He's 40, and he's smacking the crap out of the ball. And he's helping the Minnesota Twins win baseball games. Again, I know you guys aren't watching, and you're probably just going to see Nelson Cruz sitting here and be like, what does that have to do with anything? He had a great opening weekend of baseball, and he should be the go to the week.
I mean, I'm an 18-year-old, and I could dominate U10 soccer league. Does that say I'm the go of the week?
That's
I'm
not
kidding.
comparable, man.
That's why I was kidding. All right, I'm going to finish off my go of the week. This one should win. I just know it's not going to win. You guys talked about great MLB performances, and I couldn't agree anymore. Those guys were great. But I'm going to head over to soccer like I did last week in the NWSL, which was the first league to come back, first team play to come back in the United States. And they finally finished their Challenge Cup with 0 coronavirus cases. And so I'm going to throw it over to the MVP of the Challenge Cup and the champion of the Challenge Cup, and Rachel Daly. Rachel Daly, you guys definitely don't know her. I'm going to put that out there right now. Probably no one knows her. That's why I'm not going to win. But she's a forward for the Houston Dash, who beat the Chicago Red Stars 2-0 today, unfortunately. So sad. But Rachel Daly is a great English for the England team, England player. But she netted a lot of goals. I'm pretty sure she was tied for Golden Boot, MVP of the whole tournament. Successful tournament, our first one, seeing that sports can be an outlet for us, in the beginning of July. So that's my go of the week. Not gonna win. I already know that. I'm doing it for the heart, man.
Yeah, I think those are all good picks.
Tommy, we'll just put the leaderboard up now because you now have 4 wins.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I honestly think Matt's pick was great. I think Cespedes is very deserving as well. I mean, I was just kidding with you, Mike. To come back like that, hit a game-winning home run his first game back, that's very impressive. Nelly Cruz, obviously, great weekend for
Still
him.
swinging the bat like it's nothing.
Yeah,
Smooth
I
like
think,
butter.
yeah, no, I think all 3 of you are deserving to win. I mean, I might just because the Yankees are the best team in baseball and we have one of the best fan bases in sports. That might be why I win, but I think they were all good picks.
Maybe we should put like our explanation video on IGTV. Maybe that would help. And maybe that'd help our case and not Tommy's. But thank you for being so humble, Tommy. We know deep down inside you're not this humble and you just want to win.
Well, I do like winning, but
But yet again, another successful episode of Go Chat. Always a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Yeah, I always have a lot of fun doing this with y'all.
absolutely.
Max.
Great show.
Yeah, hockey's coming back in a week. Basketball's coming back Thursday. Maybe we'll have like a basketball preview for you guys on episode.
I mean, this is insane. Like to the point where we're like actually getting sports back. Like I don't know, I'm gonna be able to do it myself. Just so many sports on at once. It's gonna be crazy.
This is why I don't know, I'm indifferent about becoming a baseball fan because I feel like I'm gonna be stressed to what to watch. It's gonna be awful.
Baseball's always the way to go, Matt Cade. So
I'm gonna agree with that there. Baseball. If I'm choosing between any sports, maybe besides football, it's baseball.
Stop. We all have to choose Goat Chat. That is the main thing we should be
Yes.
watching in our life. We need more Goat Chat in our life. That's why you guys should subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow our personal accounts. Get into the hype. Get into the Goat Chat hype. Anything else?
I just want to say, for any fans out there who aren't into the Goat Chat hype yet, I was at a zoo last weekend and I was spit on by a goat for this Goat Chat hype. Hit that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button. I don't know.
Follow us on our socials, and we'll see you next time.